Howdy, peeps. Pick my camera back into gear. There we go. It's all jank like that. Okay. Evening, fat man. So I promised last stream that I would either start working on this over the weekend or we would start it on Tuesday's stream. And I'm doing it over the weekend. Number 5 of the squad. I'm in the midst of the trim step, so we're going to be here a while. We had fun. Trying to figure out when we're going to do it again. Potentially before 200. But we'll see. Sorry, I'm messaging people. Yeah, we had fun. I think for the next one, I'm gonna try to iron out some both narrative things and some stream things because it was a little bit rough. But I did end up winning. And we did create a little bit of a narrative. I actually integrated some of that into the lore of those particular factions. I had to do a little bit of retconning from what I said in the stream because it was pretty spur of the moment. But I'm pretty happy with where we ended up. It did get me thinking a little bit about things that have happened not necessarily in the current day in the setting. So like things that are pre-M41 and 42. And where those took place in the galaxy. Actually, I need to do something. There we go. Not really sure how these bony bits are going to go up here. It's a lot of tight spaces. Because for some reason spines are growing on the power pack. Chaos is weird. Fix that when I go over it with null oil. What's up, Mini Models Dad? We are indeed getting the bread. And by bread, I mean chaos. Because I may be a little biased, but chaos does reign supreme. Pardon if the internet is a little choppy on my end. We are having some severe winds at the moment. And it's kind of knocking everything out of whack. Let me actually check that. Let's see. We were having some issues last week with the internet dropping. Okay. Yeah, it's pretty bad right now. The wind is not helping. Definitely not being my friend tonight. As long as this stream doesn't crash again like it did last time. But I wasn't planning for this to be a terribly long stream anyway. See how close I can get this guy to being done. Might have to finish him up on Tuesday. This wind would stop. Interesting. Okay. I do believe it's about time to retire this brush. That's fine. I've got more. I thought I did. I might have to go shopping for brushes. Okay. Since it's the trim done, a couple of these spiky bits on the skulls. Okay. Now we're going to finish the bony bits. Favorite part about Warhammer? The war. And the undisclosed hammer. Did that land? I don't think that landed. Well, what does everybody think with the frame drops? I can't really help it at the moment. I can end now and we can come back on Tuesday. Or we can just keep going until I get this guy done. If you can put up with the frame drops, then we'll keep going, but I don't want to make you guys suffer because of the weather. Hey, what's up, Rush 2? Yeah, I was gonna do a spontaneous stream, but the weather is working against me, and we're getting some major frame drops. How's the Fall Acadia treating you? I was just thinking today, you know, I really need to get to reading. 'Cause I'm very behind on all of my reading. Pretty good. Just read another 3 chapters. A little more than halfway done now. Had a part with Trazen, which was interesting. Trazen's always interesting. Oh, hey, our internet's back. Or so it's telling me. If it wasn't for those stupid models that I was making a Rain Cloud play the other day, I guess that was yesterday, wasn't it? Then I would probably be more willing to get into Necrons a little bit more. But I would want to paint them from the ground up, and I don't want to put in the effort to take apart those models. Because I don't know if you guys saw, but they were a mess. Like a hodgepodge of bits from every faction. There's like Chaos and Eldar. Just smacked onto them. Those death marks he was using had Intercessor pauldrons on them. It's not laggy anymore? Cool. I will... refreshing my monitor. Oh, sweet. Okay. Where'd I get them? So I bought them secondhand. There's a nerd store near me that I guess somebody sold them to, and they were just randomly thrown into bags with random units, and they were like $4 a bag. So I was like, yeah, Warhammer models for a decent price. Sure, why not? And then I dug into them and I'm like, these are trash. I hate every one of these because they're so poorly kit bashed and so poorly painted. And whoever had them before had the reasonable idea of hot gluing coins to the bottom of the bases to give them weight. So I can give them credit for that, but as far as the modeling goes, that was a no-go. Or abandoned Necrons. I think reviving them would be an interesting project. It would be an interesting project. Hi, Isaac. That's how I ended up filling out the rest of my possessed as well. Yeah, I just wasn't a fan. And I like to have my models look somewhat presentable. Which is why I prefer painting them all. You would undertake it? Well, it's more work than I'm willing to put in. I would rather work from the ground up than have to fix somebody else's mistakes. Maybe they didn't think it was a mistake. Maybe they actually liked it, but they are rough. started building your door. I'll be anxious to see that in the Discord. Is that for your Escalons? I lucked out and I found some of them. Look, they got real care into putting together and painting. Yeah, these did not. They're bad. I've been trying to pawn them off on Raincloud, but I can't get him to take them. Someday I'll make him one of us. Sweet. I'll be happy to see them. Discord's been kind of quiet the last couple days. Trying to pick out these bony bits in here, and there are a lot of them. You'll take them? You know, I would be half tempted to take you up on that. It's not a full army. It's just a bunch of random models. Some of them have some coherence. Have I had any games with Fellhammer detachment? I have not. So, one of the things that I talk about a lot on this channel is the fact that I don't really play the tabletop. I keep thinking it's the middle of the week. Yesterday, Raincloud and I had an official game of Kill Team to celebrate reaching 100 subs on the channel here. And so that was our first official experience playing anything tabletop related. But at 200 subs, we'll be playing 10th edition. That's the goal, anyway. So I can't really speak on that. I have all of my models put into lists that are compatible with 10th edition and with their lore that I write for them. That's something else we do here is we do a lot of homebrew. A lot of homebrew. It's kind of a central focus. Or I'd like to keep it that way anyway. But yeah, I cannot answer your question. I'm sure there's a good answer, but I am not the one with said answer. always been into the painting side myself. Do enjoy some tabletop matches. Make sure to sub and watch out for upcoming streams and games. Well, I appreciate that. We typically stream on Tuesday nights at 6:30, but I had some time here, so I am streaming right now. We were discussing after the game yesterday that maybe it can become a regular thing, doing some narrative kill team, but we shall see. That would also require getting both of our schedules to line up, and that doesn't always happen. I don't know if I'm going to have... Yeah, a narrative would be cool. If we do it, it'll probably be along the same lines as what I was sharing in the patron chat earlier, Rushtiv. Probably following that story. Maybe. I don't know. I don't want to make everyone bored making him play Necrons. Rushtiv, have you thought of a scheme yet for your Ascalons? I was meaning to ask you that. Or an idea for a scheme? So I build my army. Might do narrative play by myself since there's not really a community near me. Hey, there's not one near me either. I have to travel about 2 hours if I want to go play with a community. I did think about doing like a solitaire 10th edition. But I don't have time for that. So I just write all the events in my head. Or In docks. I have so many docks. Do I feel like Kill Team was relatively easy to pick up and play? Me and some friends were checking it out the other day, but I haven't really looked at the rules yet. So we were playing 2nd edition Kill Team. Because that's all I had the books for, because I bought the books super cheap. And it's relatively intuitive. There are a lot of rules that you're like, oh my gosh, do these stack? Do they not stack? Like, what's going on? But I think we picked up on it relatively quickly. Some ideas, I may ping them off you in Discord. Sure. Hit me up. I know I have the 1st edition core rules, and I haven't really looked through them either. Because I have the core rules and the compendium for 2nd edition. So that's what we played. But from my understanding, 2nd edition is much simpler than 1st edition. Have an official Warhammer store like 40 minutes away, but they're pretty uptight about using only sanctioned GW tools, models, and paints. They all kind of glaze GW tools much. Yeah, I mean, I've never actually participated in anything in the GW store that I typically go to. But I enjoy going in there because the manager is like one of the nicest guys I've ever met. And he's never pushed me into anything. Well, I say that. He convinced me to buy Abaddon and convert him into my Chaos Lord, which was a great idea. I'm not upset about that at all. But I haven't been back to see him to show him what I did with it. But he's very helpful. So anytime that I want to go to a GW store, that's the one I go to. Because I have one about 2 hours in both directions. And I will always pick that one, even though it's like 15 minutes farther away. Plus, a lot of the guys that hang out in the store are your stereotypical nerds that aren't great at social stuff and just overall kind of odd. I feel that. I feel that a lot. They're the regulars who would be there. I can get along with those people sometimes. But a lot of the time it's just, like, just be socially normal. The worst ones are the ones who know they know more than you, and they want you to know that they know more than you. Those are the ones I can't stand. Still struggling with a paint scheme. Maybe it's something I missed in your doc. Is there like a particular environment of mountainous landscape that their home planet is? Like, is it snowy mountains or tree-covered mountains? Should have painted this guy in Nurgle colors since he has a mouth coming out of his torso. I went a little more red with his scheme because I wanted him to be possessed by a horn demon. Okay. Had a guy come to the store, openly had a coughing fit without covering his mouth, and then gagged and said, "Oops, hairball." Left shortly after. One of those people. Didn't really lay out what kind of mountains. I figured they're your typical snow-capped mountains with a distinct frost line. Okay. So if they're like, I don't know, granite, would that lend to like a gray scheme? Maybe with some white for some camo? I don't know, I'm really just pulling this out of thin air. I don't really know how other regiments get their schemes. Because I know, like, the Steel Legion get theirs from the Ash Wastes. And Krieg, I mean, I guess Krieg can be whatever they want. And Cadians, I can't really pin down. Gray, green, brown, white. Maybe something a little different for each type of unit. Yeah. Like maybe depending on their quote-unquote elevation. That would be interesting. And it would add a little variety in your color scheme. Like footers being more brown-green, frostliners being gray-green, summit guard being more white. Yeah, that would work, and it would lend a lot to your color palette. So not everything is just one color. Don't really have a GW store near me, but I got a local game store that's mostly Magic the Gathering, Pokemon, and Warhammer players. I haven't had any negative there. That's always great. I had a game store that kinda sold Warhammer. They were mostly Magic and Pokemon players too. But 2 months after I found out they existed, they shut down. So I was like, come on, man. I was a little upset. Vehicles being mostly gray and green, either muddy brown. Yeah, maybe some weathering to lend to that a little bit. I will say, when it's mostly Magic players in there, it smells absolutely terrible. Valid. I attempted Magic at one point, but I couldn't get anyone to play with me, and I just kind of fell off. And then I discovered Warhammer, and it was an addiction from there. Yeah, it was very disappointing. And it was only like 20 minutes from me. So I could have gone whenever I wanted. But they were like, nope. And they kind of just shut down out of the blue. No one really knew what happened. Alright, are we done with Bony Bits? I'm ready to be done with Bony Bits. I want to throw a wash on him. Don't have a local game store, just the official Warhammer one. Kind of sucks, yeah. I have 2 game stores that sell Warhammer. Well, that's fortunate. Like I said, I have to drive at maximum 2 hours if I don't want to come anywhere near anybody that sells Warhammer. So I just have to order it all. Sometimes if I'm making a special trip, I will make a specific reason to go into a store and walk out with a box of something. Amazon is a blessing. Absolutely. Okay. So I think I'm almost done with the Bony Bits. I want to paint his tabard. And then we'll wash everything. And then I think we'll call it there, and we'll come back on Tuesday and probably finish him up. And then maybe we'll move on to something else. What's up, Malidus? Just doing some painting. Remember how I said that I would either start this guy over the weekend or we'd start him on Tuesday? Well, I started him literally today. Where I'm at, I get next day or 2-day shipping on most things. That'd be glorious. I'm in the country, so I gotta wait at least 4 days. And eBay is even worse. But I get such better prices on eBay. It's not even funny. But I really have a hard time buying models that are already assembled. I have to buy something on sprue because I want to have influence of how it looks. Oh, we gotta paint these skulls too. We'll save that skull for whenever we paint the base. So, the one skull. Warpfire Minis is a great online store. They do $35 a month mystery box. And it can be bi-monthly. You pick however many factions you want, and they send you full units. Gotten $100 units before? That's insane. I might have to give that a try. What's the progress on the squad? Is this the 3rd out of 5? Yeah, eBay is good, especially if you buy lots or pre-painted. This is 5 out of 5, so we're almost done. Yeah, I'm not a huge pre-built or pre-painted guy. I'll buy bits on eBay, and I'll buy stuff that's still on sprue. But I like having influence over how they look. Always fun to see new on Spur lots going on sale after something meta gets nerfed. Yeah, like, I remember forever whenever Deathwatch was starting to die, that's all you would see was Deathwatch veteran boxes. Like, brand new Deathwatch veterans. And I should have picked some up in retrospect, and I don't know why I didn't. Because I've been getting into Deathwatch a little bit. Because, like, my one Infernus Marine dude that's the Deathwatch Intercessor, he's kind of a Chad since I gave him the Deathwatch Pauldron. What got me into Chaos? That's a good question. I feel both sides. So, Rushtid and Malodus already know, but I have eight homebrews. 4 of them are loyalists, and then 4 of them are chaos. And I really just go with factions that I feel the most emotional sympathy for. And a lot of the time, chaos is just, I don't know. They're the underdogs. They're the guys who were mistreated and stood up for themselves. They may not have done it in the best way, you know, wrecking an entire galaxy and committing themselves to nefarious deities. But that's kind of my draw to chaos. And these guys, they were a renegade warband. So they were loyalists, and then they kind of got screwed over. They got screwed over hard. And then they fell. It's called Warp Crate. It's $35 for 2 boxes a month, or $35 per box. That's kind of a good deal. I may have to look into that. That may be an S paycheck, though, because I'm kind of poor. I'd never heard of that before. I've done Dungeon Crate. Because I'm a dungeon master. And that was awesome, because it gave you a bunch of random stuff. How is that profitable for a company? $100 models? Or $100 units? I feel like you'd be losing a lot on that. Apparently you can pick factions too. Payday's tomorrow, so now I'm tempted to do a trial run. Yeah, I may be doing that. My payday's not until Thursday, but... that may be on the agenda. Because I wouldn't mind some random units. Means more kit bashing opportunities. We'll wait on that skull to dry. We'll go ahead and do the Null and Oil washes, and then we'll go in and do the Agrax washes. Same here. I love the idea of hyper elite fallen warriors, bomb again in fire and corruption. If you want some really good chaos reads, I highly recommend Lucius and the Faultless Blade, Storm of Iron. Well, I am kind of an Iron Warrior simp, and I have heard that Storm of Iron is fantastic. I'm working my way through the Night Lords trilogy right now. Very slowly, because I don't have a ton of time to read, but that's where I'm at. So it can be painted, assembled, or nuanced sprue. The company does a lot of pre-owned. So if something isn't selling, they just stick them in these boxes. Towel Buddy got his crisis suits from there. Okay, you're selling this hard. I was just telling Raincloud yesterday. Oh wait, I was gonna paint that tabard. I was just telling Raincloud yesterday that these guys need a centerpiece because they don't have one. They have the Abaddon kit bash I did, but he's not huge. Got a Necron Doom Scythe in one box in great condition. That was $65+ model for $35. That's huge. It's absolutely massive. You're selling this hard. All right, tabard. He is, indeed. Too bad you're not sponsored, because you'd definitely be getting commissions out of this. Sleepy hands. I feel that. I need to go to bed. It's not going to get up early for work in the morning. Got a half-hour early start because of the heat. It's fun time. Swear I don't work for the company, just have a good success with their service. Hey, I'll take a sponsorship. I wouldn't complain. I'll shill if you send me free stuff. Always. It got up to 90 on today's hike. Trees made the temp not so bad, but the rain and humidity were killer. 93 tomorrow. It's going to make me grateful for my newly found desk job. Oh, that'd be nice. We hit 94 here today. And the wind has been absolutely brutal for the last couple days. $99, but also in an office. Ugh. Gotta hit the hay and do construction, so it's gonna be good and fun. Rising East Coast heat and humidity. Well, have fun with that. I'm gonna go do some lawn care tomorrow. But thanks for joining. We've got a Discord too if you're interested in joining that. We always have fun conversations there. See, Isaac? Okay. Just realized my camera is all jank. I screwed it all up after I set everything up the other day. Yesterday. Not the other day. I still have bony bits. These little tiny corners in the armor panels just have little teeth springing up. They're really annoying. Because they're everywhere. And I can't paint them well because they're so tiny. Oh, I missed some trim back there too. Imagine that. Make a mental note of that. Yeah, I'm kind of sold on this. What's it called? Warp crate? I'm gonna pull it up right now so I don't lose it. Oh yeah. That is a fantastic deal. One shipment every 2 weeks. It's all the same price. That's such a good deal. Even my wife might go for it. It's not thin down enough. I think that's it. I'm gonna go in and hit that trim on this. And then we'll finally get to wash. Warp crates, you are going to receive models that are already built a lot of the time. So if building models or building them a specific way is important to you, then the warp crate may not be for you. That's from Warp Crate. Okay. Still, I mean, as long as it's not painted, I don't see that being a terrible thing. For the money that you're paying for it. I mean, it takes away a little bit of agency, but still kind of sounds worth it. Okay, I think we got it. I think we're ready. Yeah, if I can still at least paint and base them, I think it would be worth it. If they're not primed or painted, then you could probably still do some kit bashing. I would beware the quality. Those suits we got from Warpfire, normally not great. Pretty banged up and had illegal loadouts. Hopefully they don't send those kinds of models in the crate. Maybe find some reviews. I won't look up reviews if they sponsor me, though. People are saying that sometimes they come primed or painted. I think the supplemental crates are the buyback program. They resell used minis from the program into crates. Ah. Okay. Starting to be less and less sold. Dang it, I was hopeful. I knew it was too good to be true. It's basically a gamble whether or not you get a model in good condition. Sometimes you get lucky, I suppose. I would get it just because I'm curious. I'd select Astra Militarum, Tau, and Space Marines. Might still try it. Maybe you can be the guinea pig, and then you can come back and tell us if it sucks or not. One guarantee they say is they will send you a full unit of whatever. Yeah. Just from a marketing point of view, I bet they also make sure to send you nice stuff the first few weeks and then gradually start sending you scuffed crates later on. So if you get a Space Marine crate, it will be 10 Intercessors, not just one Marine. That's a good deal. Because a box of Intercessors is $50. Quality of those Intercessors may vary, but at least they should all be there. Yeah, that's true. If I was to get a squad of 10 Intercessors, I would want them to be relatively consistent in their quality. Good or bad. I would prefer that they were all good or all bad. Slowly making progress here. I can feel myself starting to wane. It's been a rough couple days sleep-wise. For me there. Yeah, it's too late to turn back. No one will be able to tell. Doing pretty good with the subs these past few weeks. Do you have the models to assemble the 1K armies for the 200 sub goal? I do. I've got... I'd have to double check. I have almost like 1,200 points in Blood Angels, and then like almost 1,400 points in CSM. Let's see. Yeah, so for the Sons of Sorrow, I have 1160. And then for the Fervent Storm, oh, I have more than I thought I did. Did I add something? Oh, because of the Warpsmith. Forgot about that. Yeah, so the Fervent Storm is at 1485. So we're doing all right. May do it. I'll see about subscribing tomorrow and let you know how it goes, I suppose. Good luck to you. Here, I'm saluting you. You can't see it, but I'm doing it. Also did confirm it is $35 per crate with up to 2 crates per month, or you can do 1 month or every 3 months. Surprised it took me over 2 years to get my Dark Imperium box painted and fill the 1K list. I mean, yeah, they're not all painted. I'm working my way through that slowly, but I have the models all assembled, so that's all that matters, right? I can field the gray abominations. The only reason they're gray is because they're primed with Army Painter Uniform Gray. That's a straw one. That was my question. Don't have anything painted, just my command squad that's primed. Most stuff is unit. See, I have a habit of not being able to have models unbuilt. So I have to put them together. I can't just leave them on the sprue. But also, it's one hull. Oh, unbuilt. Yeah, I don't have that problem. Because I like the way they all look, whether they're painted or not, all up next to each other. And I like to have them all together. Struggling? You're good. I'm struggling to paint. But that's a very different problem. As an engineer, I'm sure Malidus would agree, a straw has one hole. It is a valid question. I asked it earlier because Raincloud was supposed to be streaming earlier today. And we always try to think up questions to trip him up during his streams. But he didn't stream, so we didn't get to ask it. So I'm a little sad. So I get to be the victim instead. Correct. Have no debate. It is indeed one. Almost done here. Almost. I said that before. It's really starting to get way past my bedtime. By that logic, a straw is technically a donut. And so are you. I can't argue with that logic, because it's true. I am not an engineer, I just run off with logic and reason. Is that all the non-oil? Can we move on to Agrax? I think we can move on to Agrax. Is a hot... don't get me on this. I am of the unpopular opinion that a hot dog is not a sandwich, but it's a taco. And that gets me in trouble. I'm too tired to think about this logic.